An exhibition which features some of the Queensland Art Gallery's prized pieces will travel hundreds of kilometres over the next 6 months. The paintings are usually displayed in the state capital, but a regional tour will be taking them to Cairns, Winton and Rockhampton. The exhibition opens in Cairns this weekend. Angela Goddard, the gallery's Australian art curator, told 7:30 Queensland it's not the first time some of the works have been displayed in the regions.
The Queensland Art Gallery has been touring art and programs to the region since 1900. We are the only state gallery in Australia who has a comprehensive program of sending artworks, exhibitions, as well as programs out into regional areas. The show is basically one of the galleries from our permanent collection Australian galleries, which through the Prado exhibition coming to town, we've been able to take some of these masterpieces of modern art from Australia out into the regions on a tour. Many of the works in the show are works that never leave our permanent gallery's walls. So it's a great opportunity for people who are familiar with the works. Perhaps they've visited the gallery before or throughout the years or seen reproductions to actually see these works in the flesh and in the context of an exhibition within their own town. The works all date from between the 1920s to the 1940s, so a really important period within Australian art. Modernism is starting to emerge as a driving force for artists in Australia. I suppose one of the stars of the show is William Dobell's The Cypriot, which is a magnificent painting, a portrait, a really kind of interesting psychological portrait of a gentleman who he knew in London and painted and drew almost obsessively over a period, and this is the culmination of that long process of sketching and drawing this wonderful portrait.
So Dobell would make many sketches of the one subject, a portrait subject, and then he'd kind of slightly exaggerate different features. So you'll see that there's this amazing kind of pointy, triangle of the elbows, and the hands, like the length of the fingers are really exaggerated, and the gaze.
I think some of the other pieces that I'm excited about sending out into the regions are our Nora Hyson portrait, which was recently acquired only last year, and it's a wonderfully fresh image, a self-portrait, a very strong portrait of the artist herself at this very crucial moment of her career. She'd just won the Archibald Prize. Also, another recent acquisition is Peter Purves Smith's Lucille, which we acquired last year through our foundation appeal. It's a great portrait as well of Lucille Stevens, a Melbourne socialite. A really interesting issue that we came across when we were researching for the show is that the Dobell had actually toured in 1951 as part of the Jubilee Art Train. Now this involved the kitting out of a train carriage with works from the Queensland Art Gallery's collection, and this train went all over Queensland, just pulling into stations and sidings, and for the public to come and view and see some of the works from their state collection. It just sounded like an amazing kind of story, and there are some great images. And there's this excellent image of some workers carting the Dobell into one of the carriages. We are now touring works that are increasingly complex, and also we're touring quite challenging contemporary art quite often. In the last 5 years we've had almost 300,000 visitors to our shows and programs, which have been held within 100 different regional venues, which is amazing for us. We're very pleased with those kind of attendances and numbers. The popularity of Goma and the precinct here in Brisbane, it's not just about being in Brisbane, it's about sending our programs throughout the state. This is a state collection. We want to make our works of art and our programs accessible for everybody.
Tina Gertis produced that report.